People think high adventure starts when you book a flight. No. High adventure starts when a 14-year-old says, "Hey, could we go to Japan someday?" And an adult leader makes the catastrophic mistake of saying, "Maybe." Because from that moment on, your life becomes spreadsheets, transportation logistics, budget planning, and Googling things like, can 30 people survive in Tokyo with only carry-on luggage?
Hey, this is Jake from Scouts, Assistant Cub Master, Scoutmaster, Advisor, District Member at Large, and a guy who has spent multiple years researching Icelandic grocery stores for reasons I no longer fully understand. And today we're talking about the very first step in planning high adventure trips. Why this trip? The biggest mistake that leaders make is starting with the location instead of the purpose. People say, we should go somewhere cool. That's not a plan, that's a Pinterest board. We need to ask, what experience are we trying to give these scouts? In Iceland, we focused on wilderness, geology, hiking, and flexibility. Italy was culture, mountains, teaching teenagers how to function using public transit. Japan has independence, urban navigation, seeing if scouts can survive the Tokyo subway system without emotionally collapsing, and the Allagash, well, that's just controlled suffering through canoeing. The best trips usually have one defining moment, not 50, one. The sunrise summit of Mount Fuji, walking on or through a glacier in Iceland, standing over Pompeii from the top of Mount Vesuvius and realizing, oh, that's how this city disappeared, swimming underneath the Allagash Falls after a day of paddling, gripping onto the precipice trail in Acadia, questioning every life decision that has brought you there. These are the moments that they will remember 20 years later. Everything else in the trip should support that moment. This is the part that people often underestimate. Transportation is not a side detail. Transportation is the itinerary. In Italy, we use charter buses, amazing to move around large groups from city to city, terrible once you encounter roads that were apparently designed before the invention of vehicles. In Iceland, we use vans, much more flexibility, well, until you realize that Iceland is roughly the size of the moon and everything is 4 hours further away than you thought. Japan, public transit will be the win. The trains arrive exactly on time because this is a country that has collectively decided that chaos is illegal. Now, not every unit should immediately plan international high adventure, and that's okay. You need to ask yourself, what fits your scouts? What's your budget? What's your experience level? What's your unit culture? What excites your scouts? What completely terrifies your adults? Your first big trip doesn't need to be Everest with neckerchiefs. Sometimes a 5-day canoe trip changes lives just as much as international travel. Another big mistake adults often make is planning the entire adventure for the scouts instead of with the scouts. Adults should be the guardrails. Scouts should help build the adventure. Let them help choose the destination. Let them debate hiking versus rafting. Let them pick the activities. Let them discuss. Do we want hostels, scout camps, cabins, cities, backcountry? Because when scouts help shape the adventure, they stop treating it like a vacation somebody handed them and they start treating it like their expedition. Now, obviously, the scouts are not negotiating airline contracts. Please do not let the 15-year-olds negotiate international liability documents. Adults should be handling contracts, insurance, emergency planning, transportation logistics, payment systems, but Scout buy in creates ownership, and ownership creates commitment. The goal of high adventure isn't just seeing cool places, it's helping young people realize they can handle hard things, because eventually, the nervous kid going on the trip, they become the older scout helping lead the next one. Next episode, how to actually pay for these trips without turning your fundraiser into a Fortune 500 corporation. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Jake from Scouts.